What do we consider them? Do we consider them employees or independent contractors?
They're employees. For sure, they're employees.
Getting taxed like employees, 56%.
Mm-hmm.
For sure, they're employees because they're employed by the team.
Is that accurate though? Like for those that don't know, like when an NHL player or whoever's making, from $1 million upwards, you're getting taxed at 56% plus?
It can be more than that. So you get taxed based on the jurisdiction that you're playing in. And so, for example, if your home team is in California, you're playing for, say, the Ducks, half of your home games are getting taxed at California's rates, in addition to federal. But every jurisdiction that you play games in, that's where you get taxed. Oh. And so these guys their tax return, you think your tax returns are complicated. A professional athlete's tax returns are incredibly complicated. And generally they're specialists doing the work because they've got, if you're playing in the NHL, you're filing tax returns in Missouri, Illinois, New York, California, everywhere you play, you're filing tax returns.
So based on the schedule, so if you're in St. Louis for 6, you have 6 games there, you have 6 in California. That's crazy.
Well,
I didn't know that.
I'm not going to be the first one to say that I understand all of the financial aspects of professional sports and whatnot, but wasn't escrow supposed to solve all that so we didn't have the situation where a player says, I'd rather play for the Dallas Stars because they have zero income tax in Texas rather than playing in California?
That's part of it. It's also why even the Canadian teams get paid in U.S. dollars to try to equalize all of that. But, it's just one of those things where nothing is ever perfect and nothing is ever equal. And so there's always going to be someone trying to game the system. Who's the new Dodger who just got Ohtani,
yeah.
Who got a crazy, back end contract where he's trying to evade a lot of California taxes. I personally thought that wasn't going to work, but I think the general consensus now is that it works.
Well, it kind of sounds similar to what.
Can I ask what did he do? I'm not familiar. I have no idea about that.
So he signed a long-term deal with a very low salary during his playing days, and it's extremely heavily loaded on the back end where he is going to be retired. And the theory is that when he retires, he can move to a lower taxing jurisdiction or a zero taxing jurisdiction and would sort of elude, not evade, because that would be illegal, elude all of the taxes that would be on those dollars had he been earning them during his playing days in California.
Well, David Beckham had a similar situation with the LA Galaxy when he first came over and played in the MLS, where his salary was small, but they said, well, we'll guarantee you at least $100 million in marketing and endorsement.
And maybe those marketing and endorsement deals were assigned to a trust. Who knows? Beckham's situation is further complicated by the fact that he is a UK citizen, and so he's got to deal with a pretty difficult tax situation back home. Again, it gets complicated.
So is that one of those things where he's playing for the Dodgers, where they have the worst taxes probably in anywhere in the league, but it's low money, and then when he leaves or he retires, he's going to a South Dakota or a Florida. And then,
he's going to earn a lot more of that money.
Mario Lemieux, if I remember correctly, ran into a situation where he was owed a lot of money by the Pittsburgh Penguins, and he basically said, I'll take ownership shares because you guys can't pay me. Mm-hmm. So there's a lot of ways around it, but man, I couldn't even imagine being the bean counter and having to figure all that out.
How would that work tax-wise if you're getting paid in shares of the team as opposed to, is that like Elon where he takes like $0, but he just gets paid tax-free in shares?
That's basically what he's worth rather than what he has, right? I would assume.
It depends what was compensation. So regardless of whether you get paid in bananas or cash, if it's compensation, the value of that is going to get taxed. And so it's a matter of, what was a distribution? What was a settlement of a debt? Because that's taxed differently. What was salary? I'm no accountant and there's a reason why, but that all comes down to it. What was salary and what wasn't.
So if you're advising a player, let's just take hockey, for example. You would probably tell them to avoid playing in Canada based off the taxes? Or where would you advise them to go play?
Listen, if you're a professional athlete, you're happy to play anywhere, right? And so sometimes some guys have the luxury of picking, some guys don't. And so I would never tell someone to not sign somewhere because you could be out on the street. Maybe they get tired of waiting for you and now you're out on the street. So for me, not that anyone would ever consult with me because that's not my role, but man, that seems really risky to.
We do a hockey podcast called Sling the Biscuit every single Sunday. The clips, the bite-sized chunks are right here. Only the hits, the full-length show, which you don't want to miss, is right here. That's Dave. I'm Travis. We'll see you soon.